There are those who believe that a man's mortality is only as long as those who remember him. Lakeview Cemetery Association, Cleveland, Ohio, organized 1869. Having over 100,000 graves on 285 acres, many are the souls, both famous and infamous, who seek the refuge of Lakeview Cemetery. Perhaps to build memorials unto themselves to embrace in a way immortality. The magnificent cornerstone of Lakeview Cemetery is the James A. Garfield Memorial. Dedicated in 1890 to commemorate the 20th president who, after only 200 days in office, fell prey to an assassin's bullet. This grand monument is 180 feet tall, with a tower having a circumference and diameter of 50 feet. The exterior features 5 panels by Caspar Bubel that incorporate 110 life-size figures, depicting all aspects of Garfield's life and death. The imposing structure and its guardian doors are careful not to reveal the treasures inside. Greeted by a marble statue of the slain president, having been shot twice in July 1881, it was not the bullets that killed the man. He lingered for weeks while doctors attended to him with unsterile hands. It was the infection that killed him. A gilded dome and its chandelier protect the tomb from the elements of the sky. Massive columned arches support the dome, while war and peace watch from above. Many states are represented, such as Georgia and Maryland, as well as Ohio and New Hampshire. Bitter autumn sunlight filters through North and South Carolina, as well as Delaware and Virginia. New Jersey and Pennsylvania cast an eerie pall, brightened only by Connecticut and New York. The glow passes through Massachusetts and Rhode Island. A circular marble staircase leads to the lower sanctuary. Murals line the walls depicting every aspect of patriotism in the late 1800s. He is interned with his wife by his side. Sleep well, Mr. President, as eternity is such a long time. Now let us visit the neighbors. All of these markers date from the Victorian era to the present. The Victorian era transitioned from the earlier Georgian era of rationalism to the Victorian era of romanticism and mysticism. Most notable of which is the family monument of John D. Rockefeller, industrialist and oil tycoon. At nearly 70 feet tall, this obelisk is formed from a solid block of granite, hauled to the site and erected by Mule Team in 1899. It is the tallest monument at Lakeview and was thought at the time to be the largest monument ever erected in the U.S. for a private individual. There is more to see here at Lakeview. Silas Safford Stone, a wealthy real estate developer, sits like the king of the graveyard. He created his fortune by selling real estate to the government during the American Civil War. Who would have thought that a fortune could be made from war? The angel of death guards this immortal soul. Who knows what innocence lay beneath this stone? What immortal souls are beneath these stones? Not everything at Lakeview is old. Many modern and contemporary stones adorn the cemetery grounds. Some memorials are much more simple and temporary. The small stones on this one represent the prayers of the faithful. The original G-Man, Eliot Ness, his wife and son are also memorialized, but don't look for them here. Their ashes were scattered across the pond behind the chapel. The Wade Chapel, in memory of Jephthah Wade, founder of Western Union Telegraph Company and the first president of Lakeview. It is on the National Registry of Historic Places and is one of the few interiors left in the world that was designed exclusively by Louis Comfort Tiffany and his New York studios. The theme of the chapel is Voyage of Life, as 4-ton bronze doors lead into the sanctuary. Tiffany's intricately designed floor passes between two mosaics of exquisite detail. Titled The River of Life and the River of Death, they measure 8 by 32 feet each. These mosaics are composed of thousands of individual pieces, made in his New York studio by women, because the hands of man were thought too large and cumbersome for such infinite detail. Passing the mosaics, you are brought to face the window titled Flight of Souls, an excellent example of Tiffany's stained glass techniques. Awarded first at an exposition in Paris in 1900, it was then installed in the chapel in 1901. The east side of Lakeview holds the houses of the dead, the mausoleums. Not a foot of space is wasted, as graves fill the spaces between the structures. A bronze angel watches over this family. This mausoleum stands alone on a hill, bearing witness to all those below. While this mausoleum exhibits classic Greek Revival Architecture. Al Lerner, a local businessman and philanthropist, has impeccably manicured landscapes. He was the former owner of the Cleveland Browns, a team of the National Football League. Many small stones are on his steps. Just as it's time to relinquish our spirits and return to the outside world, the day draws to a close. Another visitor arrives at Lakeview Cemetery. May his stay be an eternal one.